Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to look at CEI, a stock which is up by 6.45% on Friday. It's good to see a rise in the stock, but we're talking about what this means going forwards in this video. We're giving our personal thoughts and opinions on this one. Do remember though, it is only my personal thoughts and opinions. It's not financial advice, it's just what I personally believe. Do your own research, be very careful before investing, because the stock does carry quite a lot of risk. Remember that and you should be fine. Just make sure you manage your risk appropriately. If you enjoy what you say though, if you enjoy what you see though, I should say, make sure to subscribe because we do talk about all different sorts of stocks on a daily basis. We talk about what's hot right now. I think you guys will probably enjoy it here, so do subscribe. And the third thing that I want to mention is that we are actually doing a fundraiser right now for Save the Children. If you can donate anything, 100% of the funds do go straight towards Save the Children. Now this fundraiser is going to be ending on the 24th of December, so we do still have quite a bit of time, and again 100% of the funds are going straight there. If you can donate, you'll be making a very positive difference to the most unfortunate people in our world. But now we're going to jump into this video and we're going to start off on the simple chart. It's very easy for everybody to understand and we'll break this one down from the one day. So what did Friday show us? And it showed us that we were actually moving up by a really nice amount. And if you look at that trend in a bit more detail, you'll see it from 9:30 going all the way up until about 11 o'clock. We didn't really have too much going on at all. We did have a nice increase, don't get me wrong, from our open up price of 124. We went all the way up to a price point of 131, but from there we really started to explode. Our first rise took us all the way up to the 130 mark. We fell back down from there for a little while, and then we saw a big spike up which took us to 138 mark. Now this was our high from the day. You can see from there we had a little bit of selling off, as you would expect, but this really ended off at about 2 o'clock, so you can see from this point we started to neutralize, and again going forwards into the rest of the day, a little bit of consolidation. Actually coming towards the very end of session, we had a bit of a rise, which is nice to see on Friday. Sometimes towards the end of Friday we see a little bit of a dip with a lot of stocks, but to see this one up is fantastic, and it is what we want to see. Now the past 5 days is actually looking quite bullish for this one. We are up by a really tiny amount. We're up from 127 to 131. It is an increase, but of course it's not too big. But you can see the trend. If you'd have bought in out of the lows, there definitely was some money from there up until now. But obviously the question really is, where do we go from here? And I want to talk about this more in tomorrow's video where I give a few predictions, but I certainly can give a few of my opinions tonight as well. So come out to the past month and you'll see that the story is still downwards for this stock. We started off on a price figure which was down at 123 from the highs. So yeah, we are quite neutral to that level right now, and we are starting to come into a bullish range, but obviously we're very 50-50. Again, the question is, will Monday hold up and will we start to rocket again for the stock, or at least see some upward momentum? So what we're going to do first is we're going to have a look at the technical indicators, and I'll share a few of my opinions based on those. So what I'm going to start off with is the one-day chart, where we can see our moving average a little bit lower than where we are. That is sat on 129, we're sat on 131. So you can see it is a bit lower, but of course it's not too out and it's not too big of a deal anyway. Again, it is a lagging indicator. It usually is going to be behind where we are right now or above where we are right now. This is not something that we wouldn't expect. It's completely normal and I'm fine with it. Our trend for the RSI, a little bit high, is sat on 60. 50 is neutral, so 10 points off, not the biggest deal in the world. We are still 20 points away from overbought because overbought begins at 80. So I think we're still in a fine territory, but to see this one come down a little bit would be okay, but of course it is a one-day data, it's not too important. And our trend for the MACD is also still bullish, but it is crossing into bearish territory towards the end of day. Now come out to the past 5 day, you can see that we're sat on an RSI of 57. 7 points from neutral, not too bad, and really in a reasonable range in my opinion. Now, if we look down here, our MACD is becoming more bullish towards the end of the day. It was very bullish as we had this big rise up over here, and now coming towards the end, we are seeing a big rise up again because we have had that sort of U-turn and we started to move up, which is nice to see. Our trend that we are seeing down here for our volume is relatively low actually. So the volume candles for Friday are not too apparent. You know, you can see a few of them down here, but clearly the volume was very low on Friday. It kind of has been for the past week, so that is something to note. And the past month, which shows us everything that we need to know. I want to start off by reading our moving average figure. So very interesting. Our 50-day MA, we're crossing lower than that. We have been for some time. Now overall, you can see we do appear to have sort of found the bottom with the stock, which is very nice. price, and we appear to potentially be going back up. Now, one thing that I find interesting is that we are seeing this momentum sort of increase. You can see a little bit of a green candle forming here, then we had quite a flat day on Thursday, then a bigger green candle on Friday. Is this trend going to continue into next week, and are we going to see more of a rise? Now, one thing that I hear in the comment section all the time is that CEI is a fundamentally flawed company. And that is somewhat true in my personal opinion. But as we always know, look at AMC, look at GME, even more recently, look at stocks like DWAC, for example. The fundamentals of the company do matter in my opinion, but sometimes when you're acknowledging a certain stock, you have to acknowledge the trends behind that. I think in this one is not necessarily the fundamentals that people are interested in. So I think there is still some potential for this one to rise again, but it does definitely depend on where that interest level is from retail investors, because it's all good talking about things like short interest or how potentially primed we are to go higher. It doesn't mean anything unless people are buying the stock, because of course we can see people hold the stock forever. It will keep us in the price range that we're at. But obviously on top of that, it would also be quite nice to see the stock move upwards, and that would, be requiring buying pressure to see that continue. Now for our indicators, we can see volume figure for Friday was 66 million, relatively low. Again, volume coming back in, potentially that buying pressure would be nice. Our other figures show that the MACD is still looking bearish, but it is now neutralizing. If you zoom in really close on the MACD, you can see these lines are becoming closer and closer together, and they have been crossing over into a bearish trend, but right now they're coming closer and possibly moving up into a bullish trend, which is going to be something really nice if we do get to see that. And again, we are starting to see a few of these green candles on the underside of this, potentially moving into bullish as well. Now, green candles are an early indication of a bullish trend, so to see this one see a little bit of a trend change would be nice, and it is something that we could possibly be expecting into the future. Now, going off that, one thing that I want to speak about is what is that trend change going to bring? Because yes, we could all be seeing increases of 2, 3, 4, 5% on the day, which would be very nice. But of course, going forwards into next week, it is going to be kind of determining what we're going to see as far as that move up is going to be. Again, we're looking for that breakout now, in my personal opinion. We've been in this channel before, from I would say the 150s all the way down to the 90-cent range. We've been in this channel for quite a while now. We're looking for a break out of it. We want to see some green candles come back into this one, and of course that is going to require buying pressure. But I think once it does happen, or if it does happen at all, because it's not guaranteed, but if it does happen, that definitely could trigger something where people do start thinking about CEI again, and people could potentially start to buy more on top of that. And again, that could really trigger us to see more and more growth though, so do be careful with CEI, because as I have said from the beginning, it has been up there in the past. It doesn't necessarily mean it is going to go there in the future, but now we are definitely coming to the bottom, in my opinion, and the question for me is going to be, where are we going into next week and into the future? Now, this is something that I want to talk about more tomorrow, like I said, so do join me for that one, but thank you for watching this one. See you all again then. Goodbye. So thank you for watching through till the end, but let me tell you about our Discord. So on your screen you will be seeing the N2S Finance Discord. Obviously it is split into multiple sections. Basically at the top we have updates from me and all that kind of good stuff. If you scroll down a bit further, we have the main sections where we focus on cryptos, SPACs and other hot stocks, including penny stocks, even stable growth stocks as well, and we even have a special AMC GME chat. If you scroll down you can see some research and DD from the community. We also have funny memes, and you can see actual contributions from members down here. And again, if you do join us, it is completely free, link is down below. But if you do want to become a Patreon, you will actually get a pink sticker which will be displayed on your name. So your name will come up in pink as mine comes up in red down here, and that will show that you are a Patreon. But other than that guys, you can join completely for free down below. You do not have to pay anything if you do not want to. Thank you for watching, see you soon.